There you go. Oh, good, because I was singing poorly prior to this. So I'm really happy that it's not a problem. Anyway, I was just singing badly. What a night. What a night. What I absolutely adore watching the pundits after a debate to see what it is that they really thought. And they're freaking out. Like the Trump side, I have a couple clips that I want to show you in a minute after we settle in, but I'm going to tell you right now, they're losing their collective shit. And I don't know. Hi, CF. Hi, Max. Thanks for that. Cash App. Good morning. Good to see you. They're losing their collective shit this morning, just so you know. If you don't know, which you probably do, because it's pretty much unavoidable. I think the clips that I've seen, they're so angry. Trump talked more than his allotted time. I know. Okay, so this is the thing. Yes, Cash App. So, like, they're blaming ABC for not fact-checking her. Never mind that she didn't tell any lie blatant enough to stop the fucking proceedings, and he did multiple times. So I think it's on the degree of your mischaracterization and or lie that they decide to fact check you in real time. I don't think they did a great job fact checking. I could be pissed about that too. I don't think they fact checked enough, frankly. But I'm sorry. Your guy lies bigly. And I know you wish that he was smarter. I know. It's hard to have a charismatic leader with no intelligence or morals. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you were a younger undecided voter, which I don't know how anyone's undecided, but that's fine. There are people who are undecided. There you go. Go figure. Oh no, really, Gus? You need to leave now? Why? Okay. Okay. Oh, hold on. Let me move that. Got a very large cat. Oh, he can't get through. Hold on. Everybody stop. He's too wide. Get down. So get down. Oh my God. Anyways, Gus needs to do that. Pirate Queen Snugs. Trump forever. Why? Tell me what it is you love about him, Pirate. Whatever your name is. He danced around the questions. Oh, wait, let me move this over here so I can look at the camera and look at you and everything else. But I saw it on television. That's right, the ducks and the cats. I fucking love that. Yeah, okay. I want more. I want the Trump forever person to entertain us. Concept of a plan. We have a concept of a plan. IDK. I just watched a post-op story. Seems the best chance to have what? Kitty bits. Get the fuck out of here. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about, you idiot. Yeah, right. Okay. I'm so glad you're a member. I can't wait for you to get all the reminders of being a member. Why are you here if you're so like hell bent on a felon to be your president? Anyway, I'm sorry. I don't really have time for trolls right this second. Maybe later, if you hold off a little bit, if I warm up, maybe after the movie I can engage with you. But I don't really feel like engaging with you because guess what? We won the debate. Oh, it's Claude. Wow. Beta males. Beta males to the left of me. Beta males to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you. Well, let's take a look at his account. That's what I want to do. There we go. To channel. Let's see. Let's see what you're all about. Oh, is that a picture of your car? Interesting. Very interesting. Such an angry elf. Ooh. My goodness, what's the matter? Did you not get what you wanted from your mommy when you were a little baby? Goodbye. You're gone for a day, because I've never done that before. I usually just ban people, but I'm feeling generous today. Plus, you're a member. My God, can't be uncivil to members. It's too early. Yeah, give me like 10 minutes, okay? I haven't smoked any weed. I haven't had enough coffee. He danced around the questions. He was told several times, is simply yes or no. And the thing about it is literally, if you, oh, I can't wait to see if SNL does anything. I know they're not in season or whatever. I don't know. But the thing about it is, not too early in Moscow. That's right. It's middle of day in Moscow. It's middle of day in Moscow. No, it's actually probably nighttime. No, very much afternoon. It's probably afternoon. That's right. Jimmy Kimmel. Oh, damn. I didn't watch that. Maybe we'll try and catch some of his stuff. He was furious. I know he was furious. I saw... So I have a couple of clips that we need to watch. We need to watch the clips. Hey, what's up? We've got some Twitch action. Yeah, anyway, I don't know. I'm kind of, this is why, like when people are always like, who do you think's going to win the debate? I'm like, I don't care, because first of all, if you are in the debate, you can basically say, oh, I won. Like he did. You can basically say, yeah, I won. So debates to me are, I mean, they're of course they're interesting, because I want to know what your plans are for the country. So they are definitely, interesting from that standpoint. But I'm going to tell you why right now, there are so few people that are making a decision, like it's not about that. It's not about that. I know. Good morning, gal. Kamala whooped his flabby, probably hangy, drapey, crepey skin ass. She beat his crepey skin ass. Hi, Clayberg. Good morning. Good morning. Hi, nonconformity. It's okay. Take it slow. This is what we do. We take it slow. The movie's not going to start for a minute. So we're just going to ease in. I'm going to smoke some weed. We're going to do our thing. We're just going to take care of ourselves today, because we had a busy day yesterday. Yes, we did. We had a busy day. But I do have a couple of clips of reactions before we get to the movie from last night, which are pretty funny. So I'm going to play those for you. They actually had the debate in the local watering hole last night. My wife perfected the mean look at me while she whispered, "Zip it." She doesn't want you to get harassed by the MAGAs. That's all. She's trying to protect her man, which is great. I would do the same. I would try and protect my man if I was in a den of lions. I wouldn't be able to, though, because I don't believe anyone can actually control someone to stop them. But, I don't know. Maybe it would work. Look how well it's going for me so far. He looked weak, confused, rattled, old, senile. She looked brilliant, tough, fresh. I think she looked so fresh and like a leader should look. And she speaks like she thinks like a leader. He doesn't even think like a leader. My God, you people. I've known CEOs. Okay? I personally have known major CEOs, okay? None of them act like he does. None. None. He is so ridiculous. And it's not the clever inappropriate, it's the stupid inappropriate. It's the hateful inappropriate. Also, her team was genius down to her fingernail polish. It was masterclass. Yeah. And here's the thing. She looked at him a lot last night, and he never once tried to intently look at her. He might have glanced over, but in his answers, probably, I don't even know if he ever really did. But he definitely just kept hunching over and like, I think I would eat cats. No, I just want to protect all the kitties and the duckies. So it's like, oh boy. Hi, Muskie. Hi, Neil. Hi, Oren. Good morning. Oh, sleepy baby. You could see his mind exploding when Kamala called him a disgrace. Good morning, Kathy. How are you? It's good to see you. Let me make sure I didn't miss Badger. Hello, Badger. CF. Good to see you. You're good. You're on fire today, CF. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything good here. You could see his mind. Let's see. Her transition from staring him down to then talking to the American people was intense and exceptional. I agree. I was impressed. Oh my God. So here's the thing. Wait. Someone was asking, I don't know if this is in one of my clips, but someone was asking, do you still think she's dumb? Oh man, now I can't remember who it was. Okay, I'll find it. It might be in one of the clips that I have teed up for right now. He hated that she stared him down. Oh my God. You could almost feel like the eyes. It almost was like reverse of the Clinton debate where he kind of stood behind her. Kind of metaphorically, she was standing over his shoulder. And I think it really killed her. Or killed him, rather. So I don't know. I mean, this again. I'm not really a debate person, but I obviously there are people who really value that exercise, and I don't deny them that. But I wouldn't. This is the part I hate, which is afterwards, where everyone just tries to prove how their guy won, and I'm like, that's stupid. She was Cash App. She was poking the fucking hell of him. It was amazing. Oh, really? Republicans against Trump? Okay, I'll go to that account. I personally like when Clinton could extemporaneously drill down on granular policy detail, but I think that turns off a lot of people. Kamala was smart to not do that, in my opinion. I agree with that because and I'll say that I thought she was also pretty specific when she needed to be. You know what I mean? So I didn't actually. Usually I'm like that too. Like I want to hear the policy, but I don't want to get too lost because then people will be like, where am I? And so, yeah, but I think her team did a good job. I think her team is very good. I think her team is very, very good. Let's put it that way. Her laughing about his lies of eating dogs, he couldn't get that right. He was supposedly cats. I know. Here's the thing. Oh my God. It was perfect for her to laugh at that. I'm so happy that she didn't just stand there like, stayed and kind of unreactive. I'm delighted that she reacted to that because here's my thing. My thing is I say it is important to just stand up to maggots and say, no, you're wrong. And this is why. So go think about it. Go figure it out. And then come back when you've figured it out. But but she, I don't know. I think it's good. So anyway, I thought it was a good night. I thought it was good for the American people to see her in action. Here's the thing, I watch a lot of right-wing media, right? Which we all know. And everywhere that I see, the big message has been she's stupid. She's not smart. She slept her way to the top. That kind of thing. And I don't know. Oh man, this really, I'm going to say this whole Kamala thing in terms of women and how they're perceived in positions of power. And maybe it's because Kamala and I are the same age. And maybe it's because we both came from the Bay Area. And maybe it's because I watched as her career rose and saw what she went through as her career went up. This is not new for her. This is not new. She's been facing this shit her entire career. And it's disgusting. And she doesn't deserve it. No one does. But I'm going to tell you right now, as a woman who was working in the 80s in San Francisco, it is a very painful and lonely place. And the minute you get success, people think it's because you slept with someone. And that's the way it was then. And it might be that way now, but it really was that way then. So it's incredibly offensive and painful to me when they dog her to think that somehow she doesn't deserve to be where she is. Because as a woman in San Francisco in the 80s, I had to work so fucking hard to achieve success in my job. And there was always this specter of, well, maybe she's, maybe she's sleeping with so-and-so. So that's why I am so sensitive to that weird fucking shit that they throw at her. Yeah, law school was probably harder. And she's an accomplished lawyer. Like, she wasn't just lucky. She was not fucking lucky. She had to work very hard to get everything that she's had. And guess what? I don't care if you don't like her, because we're not in this for fucking, friends. She's there to do a job. Women are there to do jobs. Anyway, yeah, he looked like the ridiculous, deflated ball sack that he is last night. And the excuses are flying. Oh my God, ABC is a communist network. And accomplished things. She was the Attorney General of California. I remember that. She was the district attorney in San Francisco. I remember that. Yeah, I can disagree with whatever her policies are. I'll tell you right now, I probably don't agree with all of her views on policing or whatever, right? Although, I'm going to be honest, we haven't really asked her about her current views. And, by the way, the complaints that people had, oh, she's tough, she's this, she's putting people in jail, may or may not be true and should always be something that is spoken about. But only if based in fact. And people do evolve. And for her, one of the things that really warmed my heart was when she stood up for people in Minneapolis, to post the horrific murder of George Floyd. She stood up for people to ensure that they got bail, that they got due process. That was a risk to a political person. That's a risk. Now, not saying that she still shouldn't have done it, but I'm really, really fucking glad she did. So, I don't know. All right, stop. Okay, I want to watch the compilation first that Gal sent. So let's watch that. And then we'll go. Hold on. Oh, this is pretty good. This is going to be good. I can tell. Let's move this little thing. Okay. Time for the campfire to go away. It's almost time for a new campfire, don't you think? I think it's almost time for a new campfire. It's almost time for a new campfire. Burr, 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 burr. Okay, where is this? Sexy, everything tonight. Where's my damn... Oh. Never mind. There it is. I know, I'm moving a little slow today. I'm so sorry, everybody. I don't mean to. I'm trying. I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best. Oh, wait. This is the one I want. Okay, so we're going to play this first. This is from Gal. Whoops. Oh, ding dong it. Dag nabbit. All right, let's do this. Okay. Make sure it's up.
Vice President Harris was clearly well prepared, practiced on the offensive much of the night. Former President Trump did take a lot of the bait that she threw out.
Make no mistake about it, Trump had a bad night. He rose to the bait repeatedly when she baited him, something I'm sure his advisors had begged him not to do. And we heard so many of the old grievances that we'd long thought that Trump had learned were not winners politically. Mm-hmm. And there they all were, talking about how he didn't lose the election and all that. I mean, so my sense is that she came out of this in pretty good shape. But for tonight, at least, this was pretty much her night.
You're saying she had a good night?
I'm saying she certainly did.
This what has to be thought of by supporters of Donald Trump and people in that campaign as a disappointment. I got reaction from Republican friends. The two common things were train wreck and he needs this to end. She conveyed the calm. She conveyed a preparation. She was tenacious on Russia. She had clarity about the future of the country. He was a little too gloomy, I thought. And when asked, I saw around the table, I've never heard Donald Trump not be definitive about a set of plans. He said, I have concepts of a plan. Here we are, 56 days from an election. You've been president before. He's got to recover from this.
This was rough. This was pretty intense at times. She started off shaky. She regained her footing. You watch this thing, if you're a Democrat, you're like, oh, she did a great job. If you're a Republican, you look at this and you're like, that's Donald Trump. He had some moments where you were like, oh my God, where are we going with this?
But he missed more opportunities. And he took all the bait and none of the opportunities. She pivoted better.
Did Donald Trump miss a few opportunities? Absolutely.
Tonight, she won.
Ooh, ouch. Ouch. He would not recover. It turns out he wouldn't. See, this is when we need James Earl Jones. Rest in peace. God damn it. Okay. Here's another one.
Mr. President, I know when we started the interview, you said that you felt that you won the debate last night, your best ever. I think before the debate happened last night, the Kamala Harris people said that they would actually like to do another debate in October. And I know that last night Fox News sent letters to your campaign and her campaign offering 3 dates of debates moderated by Martha and Brett. One is October 9th in Arizona.
Well, I wouldn't want to have Martha and Brett. I'd love to have somebody else other than Martha and Brett. I'd love to have, frankly, Sean or Jesse or Laura, somebody else. Let's give other people a shot. But I didn't think Martha and Brett were good last night. I thought Jesse was fantastic last night. What he said, Jesse really got it. Jesse said Trump won that debate. We won that debate by a lot. No, I wouldn't want Martha involved.
Okay, Mr. President.
But I would take some others.
So,
yeah.
I would take some others. Martha Raddatz isn't enough for him. Oh, my God. Okay, wait. Then I have another one. Oh, here's my favorite. Oh, boy. These ladies have been, out of control. So I had to actually stop it because I wanted to see. They're really, really, really mad. They're really, really, really mad. Let's go. Okay, here we go. This is 3 against 1. Oh, yeah, they're really mad that she wasn't fact-checked. I'm like, she didn't lie.
Sean McGuire tweeted, ABC has let Harris
His
get
chick's
away
on
with
the right.
Charlottesville hoax, the bloodbath hoax,
Right.
the police officers dying on January 6th hoax, but they fact-checked Trump on animals in Ohio when he was correct.
Totally.
And Scott Adams saying the Harris campaign must have been confident only Trump would get fact-checked. This was not a debate. It wasn't organized.
That's the Dilbert guy.
And no one was madder
That's the
about
Dilbert
it than Megyn Kelly.
cartoonist.
Holy
Megyn Kelly lost her
I'm
shit.
disgusted. I'm disgusted.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ashamed of those moderators at ABC News. They did exactly what their bosses wanted them to do. The person who runs ABC News is a close personal friend of Kamala Harris, that is responsible for Kamala Harris and her husband.
Boy, she is mad.
And they did Dana Walden's bidding tonight. It was 3 against 1 on that debate stage this evening. It was 3 against 1. It's very easy to look like you know what you're doing when both moderators are entirely on your side.
Amen.
Trump did the best he could under the circumstances, but it really was like 3 fighters in the ring pummeling one opponent.
He is scared of
And
Martha.
Trump tried to take them all on. He did fine. He did as best as he could. He was thrown a few times to the point where he was unnecessarily defensive and he was getting angry. And so was I.
Yep.
Were you?
Mm-hmm.
This
No, we were
was a
laughing.
mistake to trust ABC News with this debate. The Republicans must learn from this mistake. The same way the Democrats
Hi, Teresa.
never agree to do anything with moderators they don't entirely trust. This should be the last time the Republicans ever do this. Because those 2 moderators tried to sink Donald Trump tonight. The numerous fact checks on what he said and none on what she said. None.
Oh,
I don't
Jim.
remember a single
That's a freak
fact
show.
check of anything she said, and she lied repeatedly. She just got away with it. And they're trying to steal.
She's a
this
Marxist.
election.
Yep.
They're openly working to sink him.
You mean they're trying to beat him in the election?
I
You
guys
mean
have
what?
done everything to do that.
Is he beating himself?
tried to-
Maybe a little bit,
What could
little
he have
bit,
done? Like,
little
had
tiny
he
bit.
not agreed to the debate?
I love these
That would've
women.
been
They're so
terrible.
hair
Like,
on
he would've
fire.
looked bad for not agreeing
Good
to
morning,
it.
peace, love.
You know what I mean? So he was really stuck.
We're watching people
He
lose
should've
their
prepared
shit.
better.
Well,
That's the
true.
only. That's the only thing I could say is that like his comms team did a disservice to him by not saying, "Here's the deal. She's going to get the questions in advance. She's going to be over prepared. She's going to know exactly what they're doing. It's going to be 3-on-1. They're going to pummel you. It's going to be like Rocky times 5 in that ring. They're going to be beating the shit out of you. We have you. I know you don't usually prepare, but you have to. We have got to make this happen. I know you don't want to, but you got to do it." His comms team did him a disservice. They really they do. Somebody's got to be in his ear saying,
Really?
sometimes you don't
Someone's
wanna
got to
do
be in his
things,
ear?
but sometimes you got to do them.
Who do you think could do that,
you gotta
Daisy?
Spend like an hour or 2 a day doing prep. I'll help. You got to do this. Like, why isn't somebody in his ear telling him this? Why?
What if they
Why?
are and he just
Why?
won't listen?
I
don't
know.
think- I don't
No.
think any. I don't think they are. I don't think anybody is.
I don't think anyone's telling him anything.
Don't. I don't think anybody.
one's helping him.
I think that we on our side just don't. It's like she said. We just sort of go with the flow. It's kind of like dealing with social media and dealing with pop culture. We've always just been
iHeart
slow
Music.
to do this crap, Mock. And it's like just now. I mean, do you not get that? Now they are in control of everything. Like she's like, I hope the Republicans learn from this. Oh my God.
Well, that's the thing. She's saying that they should have not trusted this network to do the debate. But that they had no choice because there was no way that he could have turned it down.
Right.
And she's acting like they should have, and I just don't think she's right about
No,
that.
I don't think we should have turned it down, but I open their eyes and see exactly what's happening here. Because that should terrify everybody. It should not just make you
Yeah,
pissed
she
off,
loves.
but it
She
should
wants
really
everyone
freak
to
you
know
out.
how terrible their lives
Because
are.
This ain't America, you guys. This is not the America I grew up in. So
It isn't?
It should freak you out and make you want to vote for Trump harder.
Really?
Because he is
Harder?
such a threat to the deep state They are like, they'll do anything they can to keep this guy out of office. They've done everything. Just short of killing him, they've done everything.
Well, they've tried that too.
And they've tried that too. Will do anything. He's such a threat.
Okay, so those are the chicks on the Reich. They call themselves the chicks on the right. I call them the chicks on the Reich, as in Third Reich. Yeah. Anyway, that's them. I fucking hate these bitches, but it's like self-flagellation. Oh wait, here we go. Let's see. Republicans against Trump. Okay, how about that? How about when he said he personally talked to the Taliban leader Abdul? He thinks the mullah of the Taliban actually does have the name Abdul in his name. I checked that too last night. And apparently one of his names is Abdul. So Mullah Abdul, I can't remember the rest of his name, but that I did see. So chicks on the Reich, chicks who aren't bright. Oh my God, these women are the worst. Oh. But of course, it's good to like get your heart pumping when you watch them in the morning. I thought she expressed specific policies with repetition to nail it down. Yeah, I thought it was pretty. I mean, I have very low expectations of debates, and I thought she did great. And the key for me on debates is like, what's the collective afterwards, right? Because remember, after the Biden debate, everyone was like, Biden has to quit, that kind of stuff. So I'm like, he does? Oh, okay. But whatever. And so I understand. But I don't know. It's just really weird. That's really weird. Oh, well. Anyway, let's see. Oh, wait. I have another clip. Hold on. I have another clip. Don't I? Oh, no. I think I played them all. Oh, yeah. I think I played them all. Okay. All right. Let's see. What time is it? It's 7:06. I think I'm going to chill for a minute. We're going to smoke some weed. And then I'm going to start the movie about 7:15, 10:15. Whatever. Yeah, whatever. So I'm going to start the film about 7:15. So in about 9 minutes. So go ahead and get your coffee, get your weed, get your vodka, get whatever you need to. It's all right. It's going to be great. Remember, they were complaining about having no lift or platforms for her to stand on. Her team was brilliant and said, okay, fine, just get a smaller podium. Oh my God, really? That's so smart. Oh my God, I never would have thought of something like that. The maggots are so stuck on woman stupid. Yes, exactly. Thank you, CF. That they insist that she was getting her answers from her earrings. Oh my God. Yeah, okay. They want that to be true, but unfortunately, she's got their number. Let's see. Let me go. Where did I miss that? Federalist Society said he shouldn't debate again. The Trumpers are having a hard time this morning. Whatever. You never come up as live when I search. I checked twice. Really? Good morning, butterflies. That's so weird. I don't know why that is. I don't understand the notifications are so dumb. Hi, Paulina. Good morning. What a 24 hours this has been. Oh, my gosh. The Black Widows biker gang got diverted from heading to Aurora to deal with the Venezuelan gang to Springfield and deal with the cat eaters. Oh, my God. Oh, that's right. There were bikers on their way to Aurora, and then they found out that story's not real. And now they're going to go to Ohio and find out that story's not real. They're trying everything, people. Okay, they're trying everything. This is the time. Get ready for we've already had the stupidest things, but no, not all the stupidest things. There's room for more stupid, it turns out. All right, let's see what this is. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, in case you missed it, a Fulton County Superior Court judge has scheduled a 10-1 bench trial in the DNC Georgia Democratic Party and individual county election board member suit to enjoin 2 rules recently passed. This is excellent. This is excellent. This is excellent news. Sometimes I like to just fuck with people. See if they'll notice. Let's see. Lisa goes on. The trial, which concerns the alleged unlawfulness of 2 rules that could enable county boards to delay certification of election results in violation of Georgia election law and procedures for state agencies, will be live streamed. Fuck yeah! Ah! We'll be live. We'll be live for that. That's for sure. Yeah, cool. We're doing that. Oh yeah, we're doing that. Oh yeah, we're doing that. Good. I'm gonna have to set up a stream for that day. It was a hot show. Taylor Swift endorsing Kamala was the frosting on the cake. I thought that was really interesting, and I'm obviously glad that she did it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm glad. I hope. I need to see Beyonce on the stage. That's what I need. I need Beyonce to come out and do like everything. No, because I want all of them. Okay, so that's fantastic. Oh my god, I haven't even like done any weed stuff. What's the? Oh, that's empty. I'm going through the end of my weed again. I don't think that works. Anyways. There we go. ASMR, the weed version. Taylor was grand indeed. Carla, what about a hot shower? What happened? Are we showering in magateers? Oh, yeah. And they're nice and warm. They're nice and warm. They're freshly cried. Freshly cried. It's fantastic. I love it. Well. Where did they? Oh, no. Stop. Jim, not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Let's close that off. Let's move this up a little tiny bit and over here. Do 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 do. Wow. Wait, what did you say easily? I missed the first part. Wasn't me a perfect answer? Wasn't me? What did Jim say? Did Jim say something good? Yeah, okay, what do we have left? Like 55 days or something, or 50 something days. So make sure you check your voter registration, please. Please and thank you. Make sure you check your voter registration. It's important. It's very important. Okay. 56. What does 56 mean? I wonder what my temperature is right now. I don't know. Okay, actually, let me go ahead and make this screen a little bigger for Jim, and then we'll do his thing. Is that? Nope, that's not that. That's that. Ooh, I hate this computer sometimes. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, 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 boop. Let me see if I can. I don't know what to, I'm trying to fix the chat too. I'm very sorry that the chat doesn't seem to be fitting into the boxes. I will try and work on that. I tried yesterday, but I didn't get anywhere. So, all right. So this is a movie that Jim Stewartson made as his work unfolded on Q, and it's a very important documentary, and even a few years out, it still is incredibly relevant, and in fact, maybe most relevant now. that we need to understand the mind war that is waged against everyone in different ways across the world, and what we seem to be suffering from, which is, kind of a mass psychosis, mass psychosis event. I know. Yeah, he's good. Jim's work is really good. Really good. And I got to know Jim. So first, just so you know how Jim and I know each other, I became friends with Gal Suburban and and Clayberg and Tina and Jay Rance. Those were my first real people on Twitter. And so I really grew with them, and of course are really the best of friends right now, Gal Squad, as we call it, for fun. Hey, Jim. And so I got to know Jim after knowing Gal Squad first. So I knew Gal Suburban first, and then got to meet Jim and Heidi and Hi-Fi, and I have always been impressed with Jim. Has taken so much time and dedicated so much time to providing information that could help this country break free. And I really am so grateful that he is determined to fight against anyone who tries to stop or discredit or get in the way of the truth. And we need more people like Jim. And Jim allows anyone to show this film. And that's a lot. To take something that is a core reflection of your work, a very pricey and I know how much films cost to make because my daughter works in the industry, so I have an idea. And this is, okay, so here's the other thing. The first time let me tell you a real good story. The first time I got to know Jim was when he got knocked off of Twitter. I didn't really know him at that point. We hadn't really talked, but I knew he was, friends with Gal, and I knew his work a little bit and all that kind of stuff. So he got kicked off of Twitter. So, as friends do, when people get kicked off of Twitter, they do hashtags. Free Jim Stewartson, right? Remember that? Yeah. So I did it, as did many others, and immediately got swarmed by people I didn't know, calling me Blue Anon, calling me a conspiracy theorist, telling me Jim was an evil person in DMs. But never specifics. I asked specifics. I said, so tell me about Jim, that he's so terrible that I shouldn't be putting a hashtag up with his name on it. Tell me. Tell me everything. I don't know him that well, so tell me. They couldn't. And now, 4 years later, they still can't. But you know what they do? They send people in like Taylor Jennings and Stephen Cuevas, the Q people. They send them in to befriend you and act like, oh, it's okay if you and Jim are friends. I don't mind. Well, it turns out for Stephen Cuevas, it was a big problem that I was friends with Jim. And we acknowledged that he didn't like Jim. I didn't know all the history of Stephen's involvement with the assholes, but I know a little more now. And what Stephen Cuevas did, and Taylor Jennings did, was befriend me over a year, find out who I am, want to meet my daughter, and then doxed me without nary a word. And a bunch of friends followed them like fucking simps. And I'll never forget it. Because that's a betrayal of the highest magnitude. Like, you can't, I would never do that to someone, to trick them for a year and make them think that they're your friend. And to this day, they hold my personal information. They could reach out to my family. One of their friends, Nicole, or whatever the fuck her name is, said that she would like me to stop talking and they need to silence Lolo. I'm not making it up. It's on a space. It's recorded. And even as late as last Thursday, there they are again, all meeting just to hate on us. Why? Why do people hate us so much? Well, there isn't a reason. There isn't a reason. I think it's because Jim has gotten a little too close to the truth. And for some reason that I don't understand, they don't like that Jim is saying what is true. But they're the only ones that are on the offensive when it comes to this. So know and believe that I know who my friends are, and I have been paying attention. And the manufactured cruelty that the haters engage in should be all you need to know about who's on the right side of this fight. So, you know what? Fucking figure your shit out. Figure your shit out. Because the drama is not him. He's not the drama. You're the drama. And if you don't like what he's saying, turn the channel. They are nuts. They're stupid. Well, you know what? It's not even that they're nuts. It's that they literally are either working for someone or, even more stupidly, they're doing this for free. Which actually I think might actually be even more funny. But you know what? If you're fucking with Boss Money or Taylor Jennings or KMS or any of those other people, they hang out in the hate space every week about Jim. So fuck off, fuck them, and stand up to them. Start telling them. Start saying something. Stand the fuck up. Stand the fuck up. They call his family. They have dogged this man for 4 years. Fucking stand up. He has not hurt a single person in this process. Because listen, they had plenty of chances to tell me all the horrible things about Jim. Not a fucking one. So fuck off. I don't have time for that. All right. With that weird introduction, I love you guys. I'm going to go ahead. He's a teacher. I'm going to go ahead and start this wonderful film and sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Let me see if I can figure out how to make it big. I think I can. Oh, wait. You know what? Let me do this. Let's really do this the right way. Okay. Okay, here we go. Make sure the sound's up. The sound is not up. All right. Hey, wait. What? What's happening? What'd I do? Oh. Why isn't it rolling? All right, hold on. It's probably just me. I'll open it. No, I don't want to open it. I know! What? It played a minute ago. Like, that's what I don't understand. Hold on. That's weird. Okay, hold on. Never mind. Oh. Isn't that interesting? Why is it looping? It really played like super normal earlier. Poor Jim has to sit there and wait for me to start the movie. I know. Well, no, I can do it. It's just a matter of like figuring out why it's not working. Do 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 do. Oh, bye, Neil. See you later. This is just so bizarre. Okay, hold on. Maybe I'm being impatient. I don't know. See you later. Bye, Max. Do 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 do. Okay, it's all right. That always happens. It always happens. It always happens. La 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 la. Let me fix it. So weird. I think it's on YouTube too, right? Yeah, for some reason it doesn't, all of a sudden it doesn't want to play. All right, that's okay. That's okay. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, your movie's not on your... Your movie's not on your thing. Bad. Dang it. I think I must have said too much. Isn't that funny? Jim, am I doing something wrong? Here's the Vimeo. Oh, okay, great. Oh, wait. There we go. Thank you. Thank you. Here we go. I got it. I got it. I mean, we'll go to his... I can play it from here. It's okay. There we go. Oh, no, hold on. Sorry. Damn it. Oh, my God. I fucking hate this thing sometimes. Oh, my God. Come on. Just give me a break. Give me a frickin' break. All right, here we go. Now we're doing it. I'm sorry. Wrong screen. Yikes. Okay, wait. I want to go back to the beginning because it's really cool. It's a cool shot in the beginning. Here we go. Ready? Okay, now I'm going to be quiet.
All right, let's roll.
There's a Voltaire quote. If they can make you believe absurdities, they can make you commit atrocities. In a nutshell, that's what this is.
There was a new phenomenon this week, something called QAnon.
What exactly is QAnon, and why is it making headlines now?
Here we go, one, we go all. God bless America.
QAnon was a perfect storm. They had set this thing up since 2017. They created this huge radicalized set of people. Then the pandemic comes.
Americans in retreat tonight seeking isolation in the face of the coronavirus. The federal government is taking new steps forward to fight the pandemic.
As President Trump, flanked by major CEOs and his task force, announced a national emergency.
And suddenly you've got 100 million more people online
Well, as of today, all but a handful of states have issued stay-at-home
with
orders.
a shitload of time on their hands.
This comes as Alabama and Missouri just joined 40 other states that are urging people to stay home. That covers nearly 95%.
Urges caution. There is concern fear will turn to panic. Store shelves nationwide are dwindling or totally empty. Like
When I started this and I saw what I saw, I told people, I was like, you guys, you don't understand. Will you fucking listen to me, please?
There are mounting questions now over an alleged plot to overthrow Michigan state government and kidnap the governor.
Told them exactly what was going to happen.
Look at how they're driving.
God bless you. I'll see you in Washington, January 6th.
But it was difficult to be that crazy guy. And I have been trashed and harassed and trolled and fucking lied about because no one wants to hear this.
So we'll start with the hardest question of the day.
Oh, God.
Tell us who you are and what you do.
I've been, let's see, that is a hard question, God damn it.
Look at how young you look.
So I built a whole bunch of technology way back when the web was really first starting, and then moved on to a bunch of big entertainment projects. One of my favorite experiences was creating alternate reality games. We invented this weird format called alternate reality games for some of the biggest entertainment properties in the world. There were these amazing community collaborative experiences where people would come together to solve mysteries. We did a great project with Trent Reznor for his album Year Zero, Dark Knight. We did a lot of work with Microsoft and the Windows team. And all along the way, we were learning what do audiences want? How do they interact with content? Microsoft and Bungie, the studio, they came to us and they said, hey, can you do an alternate reality game? We said, yeah, absolutely. What's the story about? And they said, well, aliens come to Earth and blow shit up. And so we thought to ourselves, well, that sounds like War of the Worlds, right?
The broadcasting system and its affiliated stations present Orson Welles and the Mercury Theater on the air in The War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells.
There is a, partly apocryphal story about Orson Welles, who did a radio drama. And at one point, he announces, like a newscaster, that the Martians have attacked.
Capable assumption that those strange beings who landed in the Jersey farmlands tonight are the vanguard of an invading army from the planet Mars.
And so a bunch of people apparently turned on the radio and thought the Martians were fucking attacking.
Of course, we are deeply shocked and deeply regretful about the results of last night's broadcast.
And so we kind of like that idea, to be honest with you. We don't want to panic people, but the idea of putting them in a world where maybe aliens are coming was really fucking cool.
Half-mad fragment of what I had been, trapped on primitive hardware.
We'll take the story of Halo 2, we'll create a radio drama, like Orson Welles did, of what was happening in the world of Halo in the 26th century. If you solved puzzles and got to the right place, you could find a list of GPS coordinates and times. It goes live, and just tens of thousands of people with GPS coordinates and little groups go out to all of these places and wait. And all of a sudden, at the exact time, the payphone rings. Somebody, a brave person, picks it up and answers. And there's an AI from the 26th century on the phone.
Crew member, what is my nickname?
And if they answer it right, it would unlock this content. And so we got all of these people, millions and millions of Halo fans, to figure out this mystery, to have fun uncovering it.
In the months leading up to the release of The Dark Knight, more than 10 million people were immersed in a real-world Gotham City. Dozens of websites were found that built a living, breathing city. Text messages, voice calls, and puzzles went out to mobile phones. Real-world puzzles sent players around the globe, unleashing Gotham City onto real city streets.
So one of the things that set me on this path was learning that QAnon and the people that are running QAnon were using a lot of the techniques, a lot of the ideas that we had a long time ago.
Q drops a cryptic message encouraging Q followers known as Bakers to go and solve.
He tells them to do their own research. Bakers authenticate that it's really Q via the trick code used in the post.
Clues in the articles led to new websites, which led to a phone number.
You want to know what the score really is? Check out document.
But what they did was flip them to be
The
harmful.
Q clock was introduced. And then there was the Q map. It contains an overview of the true history of mankind and its covert power structures.
Harvey Dent contacted players by phone and email and asked them to show their support. Citizens took to the streets, marched, protested, rallied, screamed, and chanted.
I can't put it in simpler terms, but I can say it appears the good guys are winning.
Dozens of websites detailing the bleak existence of the denizens of Year Zero, a world and time ravaged by war and global warming.
The world is currently experiencing a dramatic covert war of biblical proportions. Literally the fight for Earth between the forces of good and
The
evil.
hidden message opened the door, and participants flooded in, discovering and sharing the shattered glimpses of the
Those of us
future.
who have followed Q since the beginning will be here to help you make sense of the coming events. We know it was just very powerful criminals who had too much power. Fellow slaves, it's time to buckle your seatbelt.
It was August 13th, 2020. I ran into this account called Praying Actress. And it had this weird thing. It had Joe Biden's website on it. And at the top of it, it was like, oh my God, red alert, Antifa.com goes to JoeBiden.com. And I was like, what? And I sure as fuck, I typed it in, Antifa.com went to JoeBiden.com. For real. And it was like, wow.
As we did, by the way, if you take a look in Minneapolis, when they were burning down Minneapolis. So
3 hours later,
nobody's ever seen
I
anything
have
like it. After
Trump's
days,
press conference on.
the very liberal,
Chanel Rion from OAN, from One American News, gets up
we have great cities.
in the news conference 3 hours later and says,
I'd like to highlight a kind of odd situation. In the last hour or so, if you Googled Antifa.com, it would take you straight to Joe Biden's website, his official campaign website.
all they did was manage to get Antifa.com and redirect it to Joe Biden, right? But I was like, wait, QAnon started an op and then it ended up in the White House briefing room 3 hours later.
Should Joe Biden, the Democratic Party, Kamala Harris, should they publicly denounce the Antifa as a domestic terrorist organization?
They should. I think they're afraid to.
I typed QAnon into Google and I got a sponsored ad that took me to the Beginner's Guide to QAnon, which is a series of 6 videos.
You will need to reset everything you thought you knew about the world, about the people you trust, about history, about yourself.
These videos are designed to be hypnotic.
Disaster, famines, and displacement. We have always accepted these things as just human nature and simply the way the world works. Something inevitable and due to the weaknesses of human nature that drive us to these actions. This is where we were all tragically
They
wrong.
pick a pace of words, a grammatical flow that is specifically designed to undermine your critical thinking.
It is not our nature to fight and be racist. It is not in our nature to rob from others. What you must learn is that it was the criminals all along. Yes, they got power. More power than a criminal should ever have. They rose to the top of media companies that control our news and entertainment. So they use their control of the media to set black against white, woman against man, young against old, Muslim against Christian. They convinced us we were the problem so that we would fight and destroy ourselves.
So I started a new account. I started a brand new Twitter account called TrumpFans1776 and just typed in the word praying. And the first thing that came up was an account called Praying Medic. Oh, you like this guy? Who else do you want to follow? And all I did was hit follow, 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 follow 100 times. As soon as I started following all those people, they immediately started following me back. So all of a sudden I had all these friends. And then they started adding me to lists, and then I started getting followers, and I started following more people. It wasn't mysterious at all. The algorithms put me at the front door of the indoctrination system.
Recognize your true enemy and embrace a new future that we all owe to the brave patriots who risk their lives to achieve this victory against the greatest force of evil the world has ever known. May God bless America.
You know, part of the reason why I think QAnon is such a mystery to people is because no one wants to look at it. Nobody goes there and finds out what people talk about.
And then there's the reptilians as well, which have kind of warred with the elongated skull peoples, but a lot of the times they work together because, of course, they're both enslavers, they're both nefarious groups.
They believe all sorts of shit, crazy shit, UFO shit, and lizards, and all kinds of 5Gs killing your babies, and it's fucking nuts.
Hillary Clinton's campaign manager, John Podesta, attends weird occult dinner parties where blood, semen and breast milk are used in ritualistic
The
ceremonies.
elitist groups consist of politicians and hidden hands which ultimately have control over the world.
Yes, I have seen at rituals, I have seen George Bush, I have seen Madeleine Albright, I have seen Henry Kissinger.
Adrenochrome is a chemical compound which is produced in the human body when adrenaline oxidizes. Adrenochrome has been being used since ancient times as a way to get high. During rituals, Satanists induce terror in their victims, increasing the amount of adrenochrome produced in the victim's blood. At the peak moment of terror, the Satanists kill the victims, then drink their blood, receiving an incredible
What do you mean?
high.
There's 800,000 kids disappeared, raped, and sucked of their juices in basements. Horse shit. Are you crazy? What?
One must accordingly choose a victim which contains the greatest and purest force of energy. A male child of perfect innocence and high intelligence is the most sought after for the rich.
So the visuals are traumatic, they're violent. You know, they tend to be these very lush, kind of, you know, spooky effects. And then they kind of crash in these violent images. Little babies in cages,
and of this
shit
age,
like that.
being forced into sexual exploitation.
They package the information into a wider map based on so-called proofs. The best proof is when Donald Trump himself tweets or says something that can be correlated to Q. The clues
So Q drops are bits of text and images that generally has some connection to the real world, but completely twists the meaning of it to fit into its own fiction.
Why didn't LV change the news cycle? You have more than you know. Boom. Q. Very telling.
We found when we were creating alternate reality games that if we didn't give people boundaries, if we didn't tell them, hey, stop here, there's nothing else to see here, they would try and solve mysteries that didn't exist. They would try and make connections that weren't there. And back then we would say to each other sort of conversationally, whoa, they're driving themselves crazy. You know, we need to stop that and put them back on track.
What he's also doing is asking us, is giving us riddles that we need to solve, so that we can then dig deeper and find out what is the truth behind what he's leaking.
There's a psychological phenomenon called apophenia.
At the very bottom, so he's got Mockingbird at the top, then he has Mockingbird 103017. He also is talking about Soros's money. Why did Soros donate all his money recently?
Apophenia is a condition that people get into if they're confronted with a lot of noise and no signal. If you sit in front of a television set with a bunch of snow on it for long enough, you will see shit. Your brain is fundamentally a pattern matching device. And it will find them regardless of whether they actually exist. But what I found was that QAnon was amplifying that as much as they possibly could. So they put mysteries out there that had no solution. So there are lots of Q drops that say things like, grammar matters, spelling matters, everything matters. And that's purely intentional. That's purely to get people to go out into this traumatic world and root around looking for connections that don't exist.
Folks, I've been told this by high-up folks. They say, listen, Obama and Hillary both smell like sulfur. She's a frickin' demon and she stinks, and so does Obama. And I go, like what? Sulfur. They smell like hell.
Democrats are pedophiles
Torture the children.
who eat kids and take adrenochrome from their bodies. That's the mystery. Go solve it.
This is not a fairy tale. This is not something out of science fiction. I was a mom.
And obviously there's no solution. The trauma of going through this material while trying to make connections in your head leaves you incredibly vulnerable to undue influence, and then brings the community of Q around people.
Where we go one, we go all. Take a deep breath. As dark as it may appear, the reality is we've got this.
The system, the process changes your brain to make you actually believe this stuff. They had that same experience as in our games, except they were hoaxed, they were lied to, they were told it was real.
We have the high ground. We have the numbers. We have control of the guts of the ship. We have the moral authority.
And now they're literally a different person. They have a different set of beliefs than they did when they started. And it can happen fast. It can happen within days or weeks for some people. In some cases, less than that. I got angry because they were using my ideas to hurt people.
QAnon is a military operation, that's why they're not allowed to talk about it.
And from then, it was my moral imperative to do something about it.
Where we go one, we go all.
One of the things that I did, I think, differently than a lot of people, is I went and talked to people. I met Stephen Hassan, who is the world's leading expert on cults, very early on, because I knew what it was. I knew it was a cult.
Mind control groups have a black and white, us versus them, good versus evil, very simplistic. So you're either on the inside and you have the truth, and you're out on the outside and you're the devil, or this is what's wrong with you.
That's what this is. This is an authoritarian cult.
It's a movement, man. It's the shift. I can feel it coming. Some call it the Great Awakening.
The cult wants people to think of it as the Great Awakening, right? They want people to think of it as, now you know the truth. All cults make you think that.
So you don't have any proof of that, that's what you're guessing it is.
And you don't have any proof there isn't.
It's not a conspiracy theory.
Is it possible they don't believe in bogus information? I mean, let's see. Let's see, Q. Let's see.
It's a cult that is indoctrinating and radicalizing people towards violence.
So Q most certainly did send me, ladies and gentlemen. Q is the highest level
towards destruction and trauma and division.
Biden built the cages! You Biden built the cages!
Just like the Moonies.
Joining in this sacred global wedding.
Just like Jonestown.
I want you to enjoy the fearlessness that I have, the courage that I have, the compassion that I have.
Jones ordered a mass suicide. 914 people were murdered or drank Kool-Aid laced with poison.
Your only chance to evacuate is to leave with us.
Heaven's Gate was a UFO cult where 29 people suicided themselves because their cult leader told them that when Hale-Bopp, the comet, came, the aliens were going to beam them up, but in order for you to be able to go, you had to kill yourself. Patty Hearst. This fucking cult kidnapped her.
4 months later, she stunned the world with the announcement that she joined her captors.
How in the world does the granddaughter of William Randolph Hearst become a terrorist?
Within a couple months, she was carrying a machine gun.
As for being brainwashed, the idea is ridiculous to the point of being beyond belief.
In a nutshell, that's QAnon, right? You take people who would never, ever fucking pick up a gun or do anything like that or say a racist word in their life, and you turn them into a killer.
Raise your hand if you think that now, more than ever in your lifetime, America's on the brink of civil war.
I wrote a piece 4 weeks after I started this called, subtly, QAnon is coming for you and your family. And I did that because I went to Facebook for the first time in, I think, 2 years. It was Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Like 2/3 of my friends said, like, my aunt, my mom, my sister, like, I had cousins, I was astounded. That person's smart. That person's not a racist. It can be anybody. The people behind QAnon target people specifically based on their vulnerabilities.
Thousands of child molesters were arrested. Trump keeps emphasizing that most victims are smuggled into the country through the southern border.
If you were a woman, send them down the pedophile route. If you're an angry ex-military person, send them down the militia route. Like, there are pipelines for this.
Do you still believe Osama bin Laden was responsible for 9/11? That he set up Al-Qaeda? He was a CIA agent before he became the enemy.
New Age mysticism. So many people who were liberals. Tree huggers.
Instagram is riddled with QAnon conspiracies, spread in flashy posts by lifestyle influencers, mommy bloggers, and alternative health pages. And in some 200 cities and towns across the US last month, moms, often with kids in tow, gathered in their main streets, holding signs branded with QAnon messages.
The woman who died in the Capitol, the one who was the first one to go into the speaker's office to try and kidnap and kill her?
There's an estimated over 3 million people here today. So despite what the media tells you, boots on ground definitely say something different.
She was a normal woman.
Ashley Babbitt served for more than a decade in the Air Force before she was killed yesterday as she tried to force her way toward
Who was led to believe that the thing she was about to do was right.
a staunch supporter of the president.
She's my only granddaughter. I'm sorry.
You know, very early on, I started looking at network maps of QAnon, and it was really well organized. Like topologically, you could just see, here are the nodes of information, here are the distribution, the retweeters around that, which goes to a second layer, which then goes out to everybody else. It has every single component of PSYOP, a psychological operation. Somebody is doing that on purpose. If you go to QAnon Twitter, what you see are a bunch of people putting out Russian propaganda. There is zero negative information about Russia or Vladimir Putin. It doesn't exist. Why is it that China is the #1 target of QAnon? Why? Why is it China?
Russian government-backed social media accounts began amplifying the QAnon conspiracy theory earlier than previously reported. That's according to a Reuters analysis.
QAnon is everything they did in 2016, but better.
That Vladimir Putin personally ordered a cyber and social media campaign to disrupt the recent U.S. presidential election.
He's KGB. All they do are psychological operations.
When the Soviets use the phrase ideological subversion, what do they mean by it?
Ideological subversion is the slow process which we call either ideological subversion or active measures, активные мероприятия in the language of the KGB, or psychological warfare. What it basically means is to change the perception of reality of every American to such an extent that despite of the abundance of information, no one is able to come to sensible conclusions.
When Soviets are running some clandestine active measures operation, like for instance, planting some major story in the newspaper in France, West Germany, United States, elsewhere, Japan. That kind of article normally would be written by local, in many cases, prominent journalist who will express as if his own or her own opinion.
You know, but it's also just people are fucking tired of it. They're tired of hearing about it.
It's the perfect target for Russian intelligence between individuals, Americans and Russia.
Russia, Russia, Russia. Russia, Russia, Russia. Every single time you hear the word, there are objections.
When they reported that the dossier was probably Russian disinformation from the get-go, what were they really saying there?
And there used to be just objections from the right, and now it's increasingly objections from the left.
You know, as someone on the left who's actually gone out and protested Trump, I didn't expect this hysteria to completely take over, but now I see.
But the people running this operation are obviously Russian compromised.
A Kelly File exclusive tonight on the conspiracy theory that came to be known as Pizzagate.
Pizzagate came before QAnon.
It started with what turned out to be a bogus news story suggesting that Bill and Hillary Clinton were running a sex ring out of a Washington, D.C. pizza parlor.
It was the prototype.
D.C. police say Welch fired at least one round into the restaurant floor.
According to police, Welch said that he had read online that the Comet Ping Pong restaurant was harboring child sex slaves. The suspect said he was armed to help rescue them.
On November 7th, the hashtag Pizzagate was born. And by November 16th, people started showing up at the restaurant to investigate for themselves, like well-known right-wing activist Jack Posobiec, who used a video camera to live stream his visit on Periscope.
Jack Posobiec was pushing Pizzagate, and he was pushing QAnon in the beginning for a reason. Posobiec was good friends with all of the people who actually started QAnon. Steve Bannon, Roger Stone, Ezra Cohen-Watnick, Jason Sullivan, Lisa Kleypier.
To you, this is maybe like a game, but considering that I myself and my staff receive death threats,
it's not a game. It's not anything.
Are you reading these things that people are writing?
I can't control what somebody posts on the internet.
And you're filming me now.
From the first moment when we stepped in, you know, the people sort of had that like super extra happy smile. This is your table, you're gonna have a good time. And there's little kids like just randomly sort of walking around, going back and forth from this curtain.
He's good friends with Mike Flynn.
Pizzagate has been pushed by Michael G. Flynn, son of retired Lieutenant General Michael T. Flynn. After Welch's arrest Sunday, the younger Flynn tweeted, "Until Pizzagate proven to be false, it'll remain a story."
If there's anyone on planet Earth who is the most obvious Russian asset, it's Mike Flynn.
So we have known that there was a phone call between Michael Flynn, the National Security Advisor, and the Russian ambassador to the United States. They admitted that.
You don't have to look. You fucking Google.
We're told that retired Lieutenant General Michael Flynn, Donald Trump's former National Security Advisor, was paid more than $33,750 by Russia's state-run broadcaster
RT TV Russia for a speech in Moscow in December 2015. The U.S. intelligence community has long assessed that RT is a propaganda tool of the Kremlin, writing in its January report on Russian interference in the U.S. election that the organization...
2016, Mike Flynn starts talking about digital soldiers. Digital soldiers is the idea of an online insurgency, and that was his idea. He trademarked the term digital soldiers in 2017, 9 months before QAnon.
Jericho was a city of false gods and corruption. On God's command, Joshua and the army of Israel marched around the city 7 times and let out a loud shout, and God brought down the walls of the city and exposed the darkness. Our Jericho March was born of a vision from God. We, the people, peacefully march, pray.
The Jericho rally on December 12th, 2020 was the craziest fucking thing I have ever seen.
This is war. We are at war, and you better call it what it is, people.
Satanism is out of the open. The Bible is fulfilled.
Let's take over the country.
Thank you for this general. We thank you that you have anointed him and appointed him for such a time as this. So we decree the Spirit of the Lord and the freedom over this country because God has brought it and has said it. So we bless the General Flynn and the President.
It's just that it's weird. It's fucking weird. What? What do you mean this general, this guy, a general is like a Russian agent who psyoped the American, like, it sounds crazy. I sound crazy to myself saying it. Does that sound crazy?
I mean, yes and no, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you could make another ARG game?
No. No. It's too dangerous. The fundamental issue here is that the internet can be weaponized and there are no rules against it. 8 billion people are getting connected in ways that were never designed into the human brain, right? I mean, these social media networks are home for people.
Facebook groups grew to at least 1.7 million members. That was
And
until the social media
I don't think there's anything fundamentally wrong with that idea. But we need a set of rules that govern society online like we do in the real world. Because here's the thing. As a species, we are moving towards a digital existence. We just are. And we need to start treating the reality that is generated in our digital lives as seriously as the reality that is created in our physical lives. And it's a hard concept to get your head around because your digital life is sort of supposed to be a reflection of your real life, right? Like you take pictures of your real life and you put it on your digital life. But the reality is that that's not how it's evolving. And QAnon is the sort of metastasized version of what happens if you don't put rules in place. Because in QAnon, that digital reality becomes real reality. Technology is not going to make our job any easier. Deepfakes, the erasure of truth, is part of the reason why I am so frantic.
President Trump is a total and complete dipshit.
It's going to be much harder to see what's going on with anything when your favorite actor or politician can be made to say anything.
I trust you will have the very merriest of Merry Christmases.
Haven't these people, like now, after the insurrection, seen the light, gone away, recognized
No, no. I knew, and my team all knew, two things. One, the cult was not going to go away, but that it was also going to be an opportunity to reach out.
President Trump, if you see this, please save us.
There's a woman in this video who really just cannot come to grips with the fact that Joe Biden is president.
This is America.
Just can't conceive of it. It doesn't make sense.
Please, President Trump.
And her story is replicated millions of times. There are people just fucking confused because the world doesn't make sense to them anymore.
I'm in great mental health, aside from what the mainstream media tries to say. I'm not deranged, unfortunately.
I was just thinking, like, what if this person knows that none of this stuff is true and they're just messing with people?
So I knew when I started that it was not going to be able to make a difference on my own. So I made as many friends as I could who knew what this was, who could see the harm it was doing and wanted to help.
Hi, my name is Jim Stewartson. I'm the founder of the Thinking Project, an organization devoted to helping the victims of undue influence and their friends and family.
We've got technologists and researchers. So this is our Twitter. Mental health professionals.
We're helping people over 45 years. It's critical to figure out, are they really fringe? Are they
One of the big goals for me is to take Dr. Hassan's work and the work of others and figure out how to put it into forms that other people can understand and then execute.
Now we're organizing.
It's the greatest psychological intervention that has ever happened on planet Earth. People need to get to work.
We're a 500-person startup that started 6 weeks ago. I'm here to tell you, as somebody who has done a lot of startups, it's just incredible. And the reason is because...
Do you have one son?
I have 3 sons.
3 sons?
21, 18, and 16.
What do they think of the work you're doing?
They're proud of me. You know, they understand it. Maybe a little more than their mom. That's okay. That's how it's supposed to be. I mean, it's been an obsession, you know. For me, I charge really hard. I find something important to me and I just go. And like, I just don't know how else to deal with this, you know? I don't know how else to deal with this information I have in my head about what's going on. So.
And now you've found that some of the people who joined your team actually were infiltrators?
We just started getting fucking harassed and attacked. Smears that are designed to make people like me seem nuts. They don't want me talking about Russia. They don't want me talking about the actual people who were behind Jim Watkins and Ron Watkins. And so I'm so stressed out that my fucking body, my fingers don't work to type. Like, that's what's going on there.
QAnon is just the beginning.
I'm gonna show you some magic.
And if we don't prepare for that. Just gonna be the same thing all over again.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Jim Stewartson. Wow. God, I could, every time I watch that, I see something different. That's real. It's such a good movie, Jim. It's such a good film. God, it is such a good film. Oh, I love you too, Jim. I really do. I'm so grateful to have met you. I don't have a way to bring you on. I have to figure out how to bring people on. I don't understand how to do that. I'm going to do it. But first of all, I'm really grateful too, Jim, that you're here, because I didn't actually ask you about like day and time. I just said, "Oh, I'm going to show your movie." But of course, it's like, yeah, go show my movie. But thanks for showing. This is really great of you to be here. The filmmaker here with the audience. I think that it is chilling to me that I would love to. I don't know. I don't have a way right now. I have a stupid platform. Oh, well, let me see if I have one other thing. But okay, so the thing that strikes me about this movie is that I don't think there is as much a common knowledge about Q and how it's morphed into the MAGA base. How do that's it's very, to use a term that's terrible, it's baked in to this MAGA base, right? Like I'm going to put this over here so I can read chat and look at you wonderful people. Oomph asks a question. How do we be prepared except as to the examination of our own minds? They got me in this movie because banned from YouTube. They said it was harassing. Oh, well, that's harassing who? Who's it harassing? That doesn't make any sense to me. Oh gosh. Yeah, maintenance. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Oops. Dropping things everywhere. Hold on. Yeah, harassing who? That's the thing. And I think what's interesting, if you go to Jim Stewartson's Substack, there is a section on it that deals with kind of the work that he's done and the harassment that he received. And if you're curious, it's very helpful to understand, because I think the movie just started to touch on the the Vimeo. We should make our yeah, right. We should make our I will, but then I'm afraid I'm going to see myself. Beep. Here we go. I'll move over here. Wah! I moved into the other room. Oh wait, you can see my cardboard box. What the fuck is that? There, that's much more pretty. Okay. The thing about the Vimeo link. I'd like to put the Vimeo link down. I'll make sure I put the Vimeo link both in the. I'll put it in the description. The American Mindfuck link is in the description as well, and it usually just works. It just didn't work this morning because no technology wants to work when you need it to. I will. Yeah, let's get the link for the Vimeo. Be prepared was the last line of the movie. I see. Okay. Well, I mean, it makes sense to me in terms of be kind of prepared for combating disinformation and media literacy. I mean, really, it really comes down to media literacy, or certainly. But I think that another point that Jim makes in this movie is that media literacy is not enough, right? Because intelligent people who may have had moderate views or anything will be exposed through this very, very detailed and long history of working kind of mindfuck, right? Through the traumatic images, through the inclusion and bringing people into a community who might have felt out of a community, right? Wanting to save the children, a goal that is not, that of course people would want. No one can say that we don't want children to be safe. So I think it's really interesting that we find ourselves, and this is what I was trying to say earlier, but I didn't. We find ourselves here at this moment in September of 2024, 3+ years after that movie has come out, or so, few years. And more than ever, we are in an upside down world, much of which when I watch this movie, I see patterns of the way information is shared online and how people digest that information down to the chud level. Yes. So clarifying on your question so that I can avoid the next mindfuck. The way I avoided the same way I avoided Pizzagate. Yeah. And I think that understanding what Pizzagate was and who created it, or, the origin stories, those are critically important because it's through repetition of the truth also, and kind of closing out the disinformation because the void is filled with truth. It does feel like it's gotten worse because I think it's baked in now. Again, not to use a term that is Q, but I believe that much of the Q distrust, that the distrust that Q built, that's baked in to the Republican base, really. If you think about it, they will not. And remember, we talked about a year ago, I remember, that we started to notice, I think collectively, that people were rejecting the Q label, right? So when you call them Q, they're like, I'm not Q. Yet all they spew is kind of conspiracy Q-based shit. Yes, and when you have your elected officials, I don't care, unfortunately, even Lindsey Graham, right? There are people who look up to those political people. And when you're having your senator say it, your president say it, these people online, your new friends, everybody's validating, right? Your fear, your distrust, your curiosity, everything is being validated by people in actual official capacities. That's some powerful shit. So I think it's really interesting that now we still have to battle. And the thing is, it's getting a little sloppy. Do you notice that? It's getting a little sloppy just in the last couple weeks. We have the gangs in Colorado who end up not existing. We have the cats and the ducks and the whatever's being eaten that now turns out not to be true. Exactly. It had a very QAnon. But here's what I think, community. I think that this is the fear of the architects of things like Q, right? Who now depend on that fear to energize their base. But you notice that in the last couple of weeks, they've had to shift stories real fast because the debunking has come in just as quickly. And it's been loud. And I think that's the only thing that gets us through it is when people really stand up and say, no. We talked to the sheriff or the mayor or whoever it was in Aurora, or the sheriff, I guess, who basically made up that story because he's a Trumper. And that all came out, and it's all facts. It's not feelings. It's not me making it up. And yes, Jim is saying that this is rebranded Q. It has now become a feature, not a bug. And we are ready because we talk about disinformation much more. Now, granted, I think that the Twitter or the social media conversation on disinformation needs to be pushed out as much as possible. I don't know how we influence traditional media outlets. I don't know how you do that. But we just keep trying. I don't know. But I think in terms of preparedness, my goodness, I think that we are better prepared. I hope we are. But I think we don't yet have kind of a collective agreement about the mass psychosis. We just don't. How does my knowing better help incels on the telegrams? Oh, well, that I see what you're saying. How do we help other people not become radicalized? Is that really the question? Corporate media is a mess. Yeah. Well, I don't know the answer to that question. Although I do believe that it is. I do believe that it is kind of removing the oxygen from the conspiracy theories earlier than we did, or to be more aggressive. Yes, getting at being prepared. Yeah, I totally understand what you're asking and how you're drilling down. It makes a lot of sense. I mean, I think just in terms of social media, I think it's being as consistent and loud as we can about disinformation. And then as for others, as for influence, well, I actually think too, one of the things I'd really like to do is find the organization that is mapping districts without Democratic candidates and other things. I'd like to start looking at it from a multi-pronged approach, right? Where you're working on it on an information, you're trying to get into large mainstream media. It's important that Jim's voice be heard in mainstream media. There are people who don't want Jim's voice to be heard, and they have actually, been responsible and interrupted, disrupted deals that are kind of coming in. You don't think you're brainwashing anyone in a traditional sense? What do you mean? What are you hosers doing? Hello, citizen. What I'm finding is that every time the GOP take a hit, for example, the Russia money scandal of last week was purposefully sidelined by the Venezuelans in Colorado, yeah, and the Haitians in Ohio, right? It's so good. Oh, hello, Hi-Fi. Oh my gosh, Citizen J is Hi-Fi. Okay, well, that's fine. If Hi-Fi is here, we're going to need some weed. Well, I have weed, so I don't know about that. We do love Hi-Fi. Wow, I have all the glitterati. I have glitterati here. I've got Gal, I've got Jim Stewartson, and I've got Hi-Fi. Jesus! Weed! No, I'm having a very important conversation right now. Anyway. Yeah, I mean, I personally think I would like to see Jim et al. Pushed into mainstream media. I think we need some more Jim Stewartson out in the mainstream media. And that is one way we start to remind people that Q isn't gone. It just became the GOP. Weed is what we need. Agreed. Weed is needed. Agreed. Agree that weed is needed. Yeah, weed. The media is not ready for you. Well, okay. Well, we'll hold you back for a minute. Q became the GOP. That's all. It's all baked in now. It's all baked in, and once in a while, like a Haitian, a duck-eating Haitian will pop up, right? But in general, they try and keep it on the down low. Look at the fucking gymnastics that bitch kitten is doing, trying to disassociate from Project 2025. Can you fucking believe that? As if his Agenda 47 is any different. Oh my God. Like, how about that conversation? Yes, now Kamala had earplugs in her earrings, which is amazing. Yeah, so it's like, come on. This is so dumb. But I think the takeaway is it is going to be a persistent battle, as if 114 of his staff weren't involved in Project 2025. 114. Oh man, it was a good debate last night, wasn't it? I have the concept of a plan. Who says that? Who says that? Just fucking make it up. Oh my God. I almost felt bad for Trump last night. I almost was like, just make something up. Don't say that. Like, you have the concept of a podcast? You have a podcast, silly. Okay, so speaking of podcasts, let's do a little promo because I need to. The handshake destroyed him. He said, "I'm fine." She's like, "I didn't ask you how you were." She did chase that motherfucker down. So I should rush down the rabbit hole so that I'm there at the geocache. Oh my God, with the truth when the ARG. Yeah, that's it. You should go down there. Why isn't it just doing what we're doing now, which is continuing to talk? Why isn't that? I mean, maybe that's not helpful. Yeah. 1 out of 5 Americans agree with the core tenets of QAnon. What? Jim, where's the source for that? Jim Nalgren, what's the source for that? 1 out of... Well, I mean, I guess it could be 20% of the country believes in those concepts. I don't think... See, the thing is now Q is like a little out of fashion, you know? It's a little Walmart. It's a little like, nobody really wants to be a Q nut, right? No one wants to be a Q nut. He's right. Oh, you are right. Okay, good. There you go. The core concepts are the same. The great cabal. Come on, we've all heard it. The amazing cabal. I hear chuds talk about that every day. That the children aren't safe with us and that we're all trans and that we're all trying to do mutilating surgeries. Yeah, Ben Moore definitely wants to be a Q nut. He is a Q nut. He is the Q nut. So yeah, I think it is important to be. I think media literacy, I really do believe that on a simple day-to-day basis, we can be talking and promoting media literacy to get good information out there. But again, I think it's like, yeah, I don't know. Oh, wait, I'm doing what I did before Pizzagate, but recognizing it as incendiary nonsense did not help the people who prone to believe it. That's true. But I would say that when listening to Hassan, he talks about, and Jim talks about, really cutting people off from the information. And while that can be difficult, I think the efforts that we make to counter disinformation, to call it out, to advocate with the Justice Department, that they do need to do more. This is a huge failure on the part of the government to be able to do not intervene and not call this out earlier as an actual weapon being used against the United States citizens. Hygiene is important. Let's see. But I know, I understand what you're saying, but I think the only way to do that is to start flooding the zone, if you will, with the truth, with facts. And there's not much more that one can do. And you can't ever make those messages go away. Oh, okay. Yeah, the government, it would be helpful if we had a little guidance on disinformation. If you get people out of the insulated echo chambers, they get better. We need to get Fox News off of the bases. Military bases should shut down, yeah. Flood the zone. I mean, I think that's all we have power to do, right? Is to flood the zone and things like that. I don't know what the medical community is prepared to, you know what I mean? Like, what's that new echo chamber citizen social media you were hollering about yesterday, Jim? Uh-oh. Oh, that one, yeah. The Russian one, yes. People will never... Hi, Nukamis! So good to see you, my friend. People will never going to accept things as facts as long as the facts go against their beliefs. That's the other thing. You know, but the interesting thing is that people have a particular worldview, right? And it's really hard to switch someone's worldview. And as I grew up, it would be that there were acceptable worldviews, you know, that you could speak about in public. And then there were worldviews that you really should kind of keep indoors, right? And in general, there were people who knew how to do that. Now, what's happened is that when you have elected officials who are approving of your fucked up worldview, right? Because they have the same worldview, then you're just reaffirmed and you can be louder. So I don't think the people who are prone to believe QAnon or other things necessarily would change their worldview, but there will be a way, as we have tried to do, to really like create not a safe place for disinformation. Bye, Hi-Fi. Thanks for stopping in. Good to see you. I know you're busy. Thank you so much. All of you are busy. So I think that that's the standpoint. I get where you're going, Oomph, but I don't know why it's not. What am I not saying that doesn't resonate? Or maybe you're just asking really pointed questions to be a good challenger, which is I like that. I like being challenged. But I do think that in my just limited experience now in the disinformation zone, it feels very much like sharing the work that's been done to uncover Q and how we got here, and showing just how baked in the Q concepts and distrust and cabal and, you know, George Soros and all those things have become part of the shift in the GOP and the new GOP, if you will. And then I think that the government, I would love to see us return to the conversation on disinformation, on the fairness doctrine, on other legislative answers. Yeah, totally. Like, I think, I don't know, just showing each other. What does that mean? Trump's stock is taking a big hit. Isn't it already done? How is that stock not zero? So I think I think it's a lot of different prongs. But I don't, you know, it's interesting because here's the thing. I watched this Colorado story unfold, right? So I watched it as it came out on like rumbly type shit. And then I started to hear it from like we'll just pick on him, Tommy Tempers of the world. You know, like I think of them as like the Chud level, right? They're like podcasters, but they're very small, very niche audience, right wing, but they have, you know, whatever. So I hear how they regurgitate these messages. And it's interesting that because there was a bigger push publicly against that, and actually it got debunked loudly and often, you don't hear that cat story as much. And now they're kind of like, well, but then they said it's not true. And then they did. And then last night when they said, well, I called the Springfield whatever, and no, that's not happening, that kind of puts a nail in it. So that, and the way that chuds move away from disinformation is when it gets deflated, and then Rumble, etc., doesn't play it over and over again. So if that's why I believe, because I watched it happen, I believe that debunking loudly, often, everywhere is key. I just think that I've seen it work, and I think that that's just an action item that, collectively we could take. We don't have influence over media right now. Although I wonder if Democracy Dino shouldn't go out to CNN, because the CNN building is right next to my favorite coffee shop, Phil's, on Sunset Boulevard. I might do that. But anyway. I tried once when the QAnons started with the, kids are getting abducted for the adrenochrome narrative, and even showing the pictures they show are taken from movies. They just changed the goalpost. Exactly. So I don't think it's about changing. I think it's about that. No problem, Jim. Thank you so much for coming. I'm so grateful that you were here, and I'm grateful for your film, and I'm grateful for your friendship. Thank you, Jim. I love you. I'll see you later. Are you doing a space tonight, Jim? And then Radicalized Pod is on YouTube tomorrow at 7 p.m. Pacific, right? I think it's 7 p.m. Pacific, right? Or is there an earlier version? Okay, well, we'll find out. See you later, Jim. I can't remember. Oh, so I think that there are actionable things we can do. I think we know a lot more now. And there are still people who are vulnerable. But maybe we just need to learn a little bit more, and maybe I think watching how stories rise and fall within that community holds some key. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. Could see. I don't know. Anyway, but thanks. Yeah, that was a great movie. I'm so glad we watched that again. I feel like we need to watch that one more time, at least before the election. I'll try one more time. And then I'll figure out how to have an actual interview show, because one of the shows I really want to do, and I've already told Jim and Gal this, but one of the shows I really want to do is have them both on proper and have a conversation about what has changed since they wrote The Insurrection Was Plan B, which was a series of articles they wrote about the insurrection and about the lead up to the insurrection and about the information that they found through their research. So it's an extraordinarily good article. I'll put that in the link as well. And you can find Radicalized Pod. I have a list of suggested podcasts on my YouTube page. You can scroll down, and in the news section, I think, is Radicalized Pod. So you can go ahead and find them really easily there. But I just really encourage us. And here's the thing. I just want to tell all the people trying to tell us to shut up and tell us we're not important, or tell us we're blue anon, or tell us we're this, or tell us we're that. I know who my friends are, and these people have been true to themselves, to me. They've walked their talk, and I'll take that every day over people who betray you and want to take advantage of you. And I was taken advantage of because of my affiliations, and I'm not going to shut up, and I'm not going to be silent. And I'm going to be louder. And I'm going to stand up to bullies, because those people are bullies. And all the people who follow them are bullies. And I don't deal with bullies. I'm here to do the right thing for all people. I want all boats lifted. That's all I've ever wanted. And that's all we've ever wanted, is that we want people to live in peace. We want everyone to have equal rights. We want there to be safety and housing and health care for people. So, anyone, and if someone is hating on us or Jim, please stand up to them. It's okay to say something. They count on the fact that we're scared to confront them, just like a normal bully is. But we're not. So we don't have to be silent anymore. They can all go fuck themselves. They need to get a life. And if they're true leftists, then I don't understand why they're angry. If you're truly someone who believes in democracy, I don't know why you're fighting against us. It's stupid. It makes you look dumb. And you're objectively the aggressors. Sorry. You're angry. Don't be angry. I'm not afraid, no. But mostly not fighting against you. Oh. Yeah, okay, devil's advocate. I'm not high enough for that fight. Not high enough for that fist fight. Yeah. So, gosh, thanks, Jim. Oh, J-Rants, thank you. Thank you for keeping our community of friends connected with your channel. Yeah. Oh. And that really is what it's about. No lie. Like, I just want a more perfect union for everybody. Even the idiots. I'll fight for democracy for all of them. But get the fuck out of my way and stop being assholes. Do something positive with your lives, you dumb fucks. Was watching from bed. Yummy. Yay. I like that. I like snuggly watching. Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, that was a beautiful wake and bake. I love it. Thank you, Jim Stewartson. As always, wonderful to see Hi-Fi. So fun. Gosh, I feel like I got some celebrities up in this house today. Woo! Then, of course, all of you are the celebrities. Really, the loungers make this. I'm going to tell you right now. I had so much fun last night. I can't even tell you how much fun I had last night. I think it was just so great to watch it together. I love it. I wish there were more. Like, I think I got a little sad when we didn't have a lot of court cases and shit in the last month. So, and no Congress. So now I'm really happy that Congress is back and we'll have stuff to watch. So anyway, I'm happy. Okay. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Oh, wait. I don't know if okay. Oh, no, that's not true. I'm going to see you tomorrow morning at 6:30, same time, Wake and Bake. I'm just going to be like a little shorter, probably like an hour. Because then I have to go to an appointment in the morning. But I'll go for a little bit in the morning. So please join me tomorrow morning and to Wake and Bake. And then also don't forget Friday morning, same thing. 5 days a week, Wake and Bake with Lolo, 6:30 a.m. Pacific, etc. And then let's see, Monday nights are the spaces on Twitter, Spaced Out Space with Lolo and Friends. And then Saturday night is Lolo's Lounge, which is where we play spaced out trivia and just talk about shit. And then this Sunday, very important, great programming note. This Sunday, Democracy Dino is back in action. Okay? Back in fucking action. Oh, I love that. I love Frida Kahlo hair. Oh, you're wearing Frida Kahlo today. Oh, beautiful. I love that. Have a great day. And, oh, wait, Sunday, 12:30 Pacific. I'm going to be out in the dinosaur costume at a California GOP glitterati shitterati event at y'all luminaries and the regulars. Oh, the regular luminaries. I know. I don't know. We're not being classes, but he is the man. Jim was the man of the hour. There's no lie about that. And I haven't seen Hi-Fi in here in a while, so it's nice to have him back. Let's see. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So Sunday, I'm going to be at the Universal Hilton at Universal Studios in Los Angeles in Hollywood because the California GOP is having a shitty event. And they're going to have like Charlie Kirk and other people there. And I'm gonna do a little spaced out trivia with the man on the street. Yeah, I'm going to do a little spaced out trivia with them. Yeah, never know. Never know what they know or what they don't know. So we're going to find out what the maggots know or don't know. And other questions, TBD. So, all right. Thanks again for coming. I really appreciate everyone today. And again, another thanks to Jim for sharing his work with us for free, which is mind-boggling to me. But we're grateful. We are so grateful. So, all right, take care. Have a great day. Share this movie with your family. Share the movie with your family and or friends, and let's get it out there. Let's talk about this again. All right. Thanks everyone for coming. I really appreciate it.